Hi, I'm Shelly. We're gonna make this vegan black bean soup and I'm gonna prep it now. So here we get going. I've got my chef knife, my favorite wood cutting board. I do have, these are just little prep tips for you to make this a ritual in when you cook. And this is what I'm gonna put my chopped vegetables in, and this is what I'm gonna put my garbage in, or my compost. So here we go. So I'm making a smaller portion of this recipe, so I want about a quarter of the pepper, and so rather than cut the whole thing, all the seeds out, I'm just gonna cut the side off of it, and I just want it chopped in chunks. So one of the things I recommend that we do always is you've probably heard to cook with your ears and your nose. And so even when you use your knife, listen, because your knife will tell you when it's time to sharpen and hone it, which should ideally be every single time. So when you hear your knife hacking or tearing through your food, you know that it's dull and it needs sharpening. So I need about a quarter of this. So I'm just going to take the peel off. You know, this part of the onion, instead of discarding it, we can actually put it in our soup stock bag. So I have always a soup stock bag going in my dishwasher, in my freezer, and in it I throw all that kind of stuff, because that is literally just dry onion. So when the onion grows, the outside leaves, actually, that's what that is it's just another layer of the composition of the onions. There's nothing wrong with it, and it will actually help brown your stock as well. Okay, so we need this in chunks. So if you have a, what's the word I want? If you have a bench scraper, you might want to use that. It's always safer. So let me just double check. I have my red bell pepper, I have my onion, my jalapeno, and I need my garlic. I forgot to grab the garlic. Okay, hold on. Here we go. So here's a whole head of garlic. I'm gonna pick one of the cloves off of it. It's rather large, so I'm going to cut it in half because I don't need that much. We'll just give it a little flatten. That will pop the skin off, and it doesn't say to press it, so it just in pieces. So we'll just cut that into pieces, throw it in here. And now our prep is done. I have the rest of my ingredients ready. So one of the things that I have is bay leaf and a little bit of cumin, and then I have my vegetable stock ready to go. But next step is going to be to heat the pan, stick some oil in it, gently saute and almost brown these. You watch. All right, so here we are with our chopped vegetables. I'm heating my pan. I'm gonna put a little oil in the bottom, and we are going to get started. I particularly like this silicone turner myself, because it's flat on the bottom and it doesn't damage any pan. It scrapes out a pan. I love it, just love it. Okay, so while this is getting started, so you can see it's starting to get hot. You can see I've got my veggies in there, and the recipe says just to cook them for a few minutes. So what I've done is, so while that's cooking, I want to show you that I cooked the black beans right from raw. So I get them from the CSA that I'm part of, Martwolf Farms. I get them dried, and I put them in water. I added a little salt, a little vinegar, which is an acid, and I added a little oil. That's completely optional. So in this recipe, I want to save a quarter of the black beans, the finished black beans, and add them at the end after it's all pureed, so that there's two textures, one smooth and one textured. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save some of my black beans. So I'm making a smaller quantity, and I'm just guessing. I'm going to save some of them whole, and the rest are going to go in here in a second. So one of the ways that I save money and also stock less, and I need less cupboards with cans in it, is I cook my own beans, all my own legumes. The multi-cooker does it for me. It's so easy, and you don't have to soak them. So you literally put them in with water or whatever else you want. Can you hear that? And they, this is enough to make you soak up. You put the water in and they cook. And so some of them take 5 minutes, some of them take, 15. Black beans take 25 and chickpeas take 40. And so in under an hour, they're all cooked and they cost pennies. And you just don't have to, it's just so easy. It's so much less. And I love the fact that, you think about 4 cans or however many, this is like so much in finished beans that I didn't have to stock. So much less cupboard space that I require. Okay, so these are browning. Checking the recipe, and I need to soften and slightly brown. I'd say we're there. These are definitely, they are that. Okay, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and add the, what's this called? Bay leaf, cumin, yum, black beans. So I just take the whole pot out. You can see all my black beans in there. Cumin smells delicious. Okay, this just goes straight in the dishwasher. And my stock. There we have it. And so now it's ready to simmer. Everything's gonna cook together. Yes, you're done. I'll turn this one off. And so, I mean, really, seriously, there's fiber, there's carbs, there's protein, there's lots of nutrition in here. Can't believe I'm saying this. Smells delicious. So I'm just gonna let it simmer and we'll show you the next step. All right, so it's been simmering for a little while. I had it covered for a bit and then I uncovered it, and the instructions say to simmer at 15 to 20 minutes or until slightly thickened. So check this out. Now I have, a quarter of the batch just because that's how many people I'm feeding. So you can see that it is slightly thickened. So I'm just gonna turn this off and I'll remove the bay leaf. You can see that it's a bit softened. I don't know if you can tell. So that's going to be discarded. And then what I'm going to do is use the immersion blender and just puree this. And I have my whole black beans waiting. So we'll put this together. And I may need to tip it over to get, because it's pretty shallow for this particular batch. So you can see. You could also put this in a blender. If you don't have an immersion blender, you could mash it, I suppose. So this particular one is from our Flex Plus, and it doesn't damage a nonstick pan, and you can put it in heat. And the whole, as it disassembles, you can what's the word? Put the end in the dishwasher. That's what I'm trying to say. right. Alright. So depending on the texture you want, so this is going to go a little bit purple. So you just keep going and make it really nice and smooth. If you want it like really, really pureed, you could put it in your high-powered blender and make it like froth. That looks good. I might be slightly allergic to the jalapeno. All right, so we'll just assemble that. Remember that this just cleans in the dishwasher. Let me just put it in the sink. And we will stir in the rest of the black beans so we have texture. There we go. Looks delicious. And I'm gonna serve some up in a bowl. So here we go. So I would, depending on your diet restrictions and, the things that you like to eat, so the recipe calls for making your own salsa, and I'm going to use store-bought today just because it's the winter time and I have store-bought. So that should be enough for right now. And again, I can't eat avocado, which would be a really nice pairing. So I'm gonna put some sprouts on mine for some color. And then I'll put, there you go, maybe I need a little bit more in here, don't I, to make it look good. It's all about looking good. All right. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do this with a spoon. That'll be just a little bit easier. There we go. Maybe I will try putting it all in here. I'm quite sure I won't be able to eat this in one setting, but for the photographs, here we go. So I will put some salsa on this side. There we go. And I would also add a little dollop of sour cream. If you have fresh cilantro, that would be delicious on here. And all right, you're gonna give this a try. So a little salsa, there we go. It's delicious. It's got lots of great flavors in there actually. Some nice textures, I don't mind the texture. It's a little bit, when you add the colors, then you don't end up with this, really dark, sludgy soup. Definitely the salsa adds a really nice note to it, so definitely put that. Can't wait to eat that, but I'm not going to do it in front of you, the greens. I was thinking that it was going to need a little salt. It doesn't. I don't think. Anyways, it's got a nice little warmth to it from the jalapeno. It's quite satisfying. It's a success. I would totally make this for my family, not just me. I hope you try it.